It's really interesting. A lot of them are just not looking at him at all, even though he's standing and spraying. That's really interesting.
All eyes are on Blake Lively.
You think I want to make you pay?
Blake, what does it mean to be back with Anna?
Oh, it's the best. I'm so happy.
Today, a protester was among the crowd as the Another Simple Favor stars hit the premiere at the South by Southwest Film and TV Festival.
Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again?
Oh, talking about you.
Amid the It Ends With Us legal battle, this red carpet has become a PR challenge to navigate.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have long been admired as Hollywood's golden couple, witty, charming, and perfectly in sync. But recently, the buzz surrounding them has shifted from playful banter and glamorous red carpet moments to something far more unsettling. Increasingly, celebrities are stepping forward with claims that the couple's pristine public image may hide a darker reality. Allegedly, Ryan and Blake have been engaging in behind-the-scenes manipulation, making secretive deals, pulling strings, and fiercely guarding their reputation. The whispers suggest a relentless quest to maintain control and influence in the industry. The situation escalated dramatically when Blake Lively made stunning accusations against her It Ends With Us co-star and director, Justin Baldoni. The revelations have left fans and insiders questioning just how deep the deception might run.
Baldoni is making his legal battle against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds more public. The It Ends With Us director has launched a website that includes an amended $400 million complaint he filed January 31st against the couple in place of his January 16th extortion and defamation countersuit to the actress's sexual harassment and retaliation filing against him. Justin also shared a filed document containing alleged screenshots of texts exchanged between him and Blake, his co-star, as well as Ryan.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have long been admired as Hollywood's golden couple, charming, witty, and seemingly unshakable. But in recent months, the whispers surrounding them have taken a darker turn. What used to be gossip about cute banter and enviable red carpet moments has shifted to serious allegations. More and more voices in the industry are coming forward, suggesting that the couple's pristine public image might be hiding something much more calculating. It all began when Blake Lively made explosive accusations against her It Ends With Us co-star and director, Justin Baldoni, alleging harassment on set. The news sent shockwaves through the industry, and many were quick to rally behind Blake. After all, she's long been seen as one of the most honest and grounded figures in Hollywood. But just as quickly as support poured in, everything flipped. Baldoni didn't just deny the claims. He hit back with full force. In a shocking move, he filed a staggering $400 million lawsuit against both Blake and Ryan, accusing them of defamation, reputational sabotage, and even an alleged attempt to take over his film project. The size of the lawsuit alone turned heads. This wasn't petty legal back and forth. This was serious. And now, the once impenetrable Reynolds Lively brand is showing signs of fracture. Suddenly, questions began swirling. Was Blake telling the truth, or had this spiraled into a power play gone wrong? What was Ryan's role in all of this? As the lawsuit gained traction, it started to look like the couple's tightly controlled public image might be a carefully curated illusion. Baldoni's claims didn't stop at defamation. He alleged that Blake and Ryan manipulated the narrative to paint themselves as victims, weaponizing public sympathy to turn the tide in their favor. Even more shocking, once Justin broke his silence, it was like a dam burst. Other industry insiders began speaking up, sharing their own uneasy experiences with the power couple. Some claimed this wasn't the first time the duo used their celebrity influence to sway projects or control outcomes behind the scenes. The image of Blake and Ryan as Hollywood's lovable, drama-free power couple is now under intense scrutiny. For years, they've built a reputation on playful social media exchanges, adorable family content, and rom-com-worthy romance. But if the accusations are true, that public persona could have been nothing more than a clever smokescreen. And then came the moment that had everyone talking. After 4 months out of the spotlight, Blake and Ryan made a surprise public appearance at SNL's 50th anniversary special, and they didn't shy away from the controversy. In a jaw-dropping moment, they joked about the lawsuit on live television. It was bold, brazen, and left audiences stunned. As the cameras captured them on the red carpet, fans noticed something else. Ryan looked visibly strained, as if the pressure might finally be catching up with him. Hollywood is buzzing. The fallout is still unfolding, and with more voices emerging and sides being taken, the story is quickly turning from scandal to full-blown industry firestorm. Some celebrities, typically silent during controversy, are now subtly signaling where their loyalties lie, and it's not looking good for Blake and Ryan. Insiders are starting to speak about moments when the couple's off-camera behavior didn't quite match the wholesome image they've cultivated for over a decade. The timing of Blake's allegations is also under the microscope. Was this truly about seeking justice, or were there deeper, strategic motives at play? Was the goal to control the narrative just as tensions behind the scenes were reaching a boiling point? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: the Reynolds lively empire is facing its greatest threat yet. With Justin Baldoni refusing to back down, and the possibility of more industry figures joining the conversation, the couple's future in Hollywood hangs in the balance. What began as whispers has erupted into a scandal that could change everything for them and for how power and image are wielded in Hollywood.
So I just saw a post from the Celebrity Blinds creator basically insinuating that the streets are talking and Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are having serious issues in their marriage. They're constantly fighting ever since they decided to come out with this frivolous lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, and it's completely imploded on them. And I'm not surprised about this. I really am not. If I was a betting woman, which I'm not, I will tell you right now that my guess or my bet is that they will be separated by 2027. I'm thinking towards the end. And then by 2028, 2029, they will be divorced. Their relationship is not going to survive this. My prediction is that they will stay together just to save face while they go through the legal matters and whether they go to trial or they settle or whatever happens. But as soon as the verdict comes out, as soon as everything's all said and done, those two will be divorcing. Their careers in Hollywood and reputations in general are completely done. I don't think any person with any common sense would hire them on a project unless they want it taken over, unless they want drama or mean girlness on set. They will become D-list actors and probably star in a few Hallmark movies, but their reign in Hollywood is done. And I think that will really affect their relationship because they've always been seen as like a power couple and they have a power dynamic between them. And now that that is taken away, I don't think that they truly will survive this.
Now fans are asking the big question: have Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively been playing the victim card whenever it benefits them? If there's truth to the mounting allegations, their carefully crafted Hollywood fairy tale might be on the verge of total collapse. For years, Ryan Reynolds has been seen as Hollywood's go-to funny man, always quick with a joke, endlessly charming on social media, and effortlessly likable. But behind the scenes, rumors paint a very different picture. Whispers about Ryan's less-than-charming behavior have been floating around for a while, but one of the first notable red flags came during an unexpected run-in with a cast of Jersey Shore. According to them, Ryan wasn't his usual witty, approachable self. Instead, he came across as moody, distant, even rude. If it had ended there, the moment might have been dismissed as an off day. But it didn't. More stories began to surface, claims that when the camera stopped rolling, so does Ryan's nice guy act. Then came a cryptic but powerful revelation from actress Rebecca Ferguson. She described being deeply mistreated by a co-star on a major production, calling it a horrible experience. While she refused to name names, fans immediately began speculating. She publicly ruled out both Tom Cruise and Hugh Jackman, two prominent figures she'd worked with, leaving Ryan Reynolds as the suspected third party. There's no definitive proof tying Ryan to her story, but the speculation alone added fuel to the growing fire around his off-camera persona, and it didn't stop there. Fans noticed the slow unraveling of Ryan's once-close friendship with Jake Gyllenhaal. The two actors had been inseparable for years, appearing in interviews, joking together online, and praising each other in public. Now, radio silence. Neither has addressed the fallout, but the sudden distance has sparked serious speculation. Some insiders suggest that Ryan may have crossed a line, leading to a quiet but serious rift. Then there's Morena Baccarin, Ryan's co-star from the first Deadpool. In that film, she played the central love interest. But by the sequel, her role was slashed drastically. Even more curious, she was nearly invisible during the press tour, an unusual absence for someone who played such a key role in the original. No formal explanation was given, but rumors swirled that Ryan was behind her sidelining. Insiders claimed the two had a falling out, and as Ryan gained more creative control over the franchise, he allegedly made the call to push her out. If true, that wasn't just a casting decision, it was a power move, showing who really runs the show, and the controversy doesn't end there. T.J. Miller, another major player from the Deadpool films, has been vocal about his refusal to return for Deadpool 3, regardless of the paycheck. According to Miller, working with Ryan was unbearable. He described how Ryan allegedly belittled him on set, not in a playful, bantering way, but in a calculated attempt to assert dominance. Miller claimed Ryan was insecure and tried to constantly remind everyone that he was the bigger star. For Miller, the dynamic became so toxic that he chose to walk away from one of the most successful superhero franchises in recent memory, and Miller isn't the only creative voice who found Ryan's growing influence difficult. Tim Miller, the director of the original Deadpool, stepped away from the sequel under mysterious circumstances. While the official line was creative differences, many believe the real issue stemmed from behind-the-scenes power struggles, specifically with Ryan, who is taking on more control. Bit by bit, the cracks in Ryan's flawless image are beginning to show. As more stories surface and longtime collaborators step away, it's becoming harder to ignore the possibility that Hollywood's beloved funny man may have a much more complex and controversial side. With the pressure mounting and scrutiny intensifying, the Reynolds lively empire could be approaching a critical tipping point.
This is not the first time when you then start recognizing that this could have been a Ryan Reynolds personality issue, that Ryan Reynolds has been accused of being controlling before. Let's remember, he dates women that are like about a decade younger than him, marries women that are younger than him. When he met Scarlett Johansson, who he was married to first, she was 20, he was 28 or 29, and then they got married. And nobody really knew why they got divorced, but the closest that Scarlett Johansson ever came to suggesting why they got divorced was for Elle magazine. When she was talking, she said this, and I'm going to show you. It says, talking to Cosmopolitan, ScarJo, without naming any names, said the logistics of being with one another as an actor are challenging. There has to be a real understanding of how you share your time, especially when two people's careers are going at the same rate, or even if one person is more successful than the other, that also proves challenging. There may be a competitive thing. And the writer includes, that's all the explanation you're ever going to get from ScarJo on this one. But since she's currently with an art dealer, we assume she's not talking about her current relationship and most likely about the 3 years that she spent married to Ryan Reynolds, who is, as you may know, an actor. Okay, so that's her speaking about her relationship, why it maybe fell apart. And when you start to realize that all of this is going on in the background with Ryan Reynolds and he's at set every day, you start realizing just how over-involved he was in a film.
According to reports, Ryan Reynolds' desire for total creative control was a major factor in the departure of Deadpool director Tim Miller. Insiders claim Tim felt completely pushed out, frustrated that Ryan wasn't willing to share any creative power. Rather than engage in a losing battle, Tim chose to walk away. That decision raised eyebrows, and now people are starting to ask a serious question. Is Ryan Reynolds just a passionate actor who takes his work seriously, or is he a control freak who forces out anyone who challenges his authority? One thing is becoming increasingly clear. The cracks in Ryan's fun-loving, easygoing image are starting to deepen. Story after story suggests a growing pattern. Ryan isn't just calling the shots. He has to. And if someone stands in his way, they may find themselves quietly pushed aside. Behind the scenes, insiders describe him in stark contrast to his public persona. While fans see the charming, self-deprecating jokester who wins hearts on talk shows and social media, crew members and co-stars have whispered about someone far more difficult, controlling, insecure, and distant once the cameras stop rolling. But of course, these are still rumors, not confirmed facts. But the combination of cast shakeups, creative disagreements, and first-hand accounts is enough to make even the most loyal fans question if Ryan Reynolds is as likable off-screen as he seems on it. And the speculation doesn't stop with his career. It spills into his personal life, too. Remember his highly publicized marriage to Scarlett Johansson? At first, it looked like a Hollywood dream pairing. But their divorce told a very different story. Scarlett has since hinted at the deep cracks in their relationship, describing volatile moments and emotional distance. When her career exploded with leading roles in Iron Man 2 and The Avengers, Ryan reportedly didn't take it well. According to Scarlett, being in a marriage where one partner resented the other's rising success was draining. She hinted that Ryan's jealousy became a major issue. Imagine that, one of the most successful actresses in the world saying her husband couldn't handle her star outshining his. Their relationship didn't just drift apart. It unraveled under pressure, competition, and a power imbalance. As Scarlett's fame surged, Ryan allegedly struggled with insecurity, feeling increasingly overshadowed in both public and private spheres, and then things took another turn. During the filming of Green Lantern, rumors swirled that Ryan was growing close to his co-star Blake Lively. Their chemistry on set was said to be undeniable. If Ryan was already frustrated in his marriage and forming a new connection with Blake, it raises questions about why he really left Scarlett. Some believe it wasn't just about a failing marriage. It was about finding someone who made him feel powerful again. Blake, at that time, was best known for Gossip Girl, a TV star with rising fame, but nowhere near Scarlett's Hollywood clout. Being linked to Ryan propelled her to a whole new level. Suddenly, she wasn't just a young actress from a teen drama. She was one half of a new Hollywood power couple. Her image transformed overnight, and the spotlight followed. So, was it just love, or was it a strategic move for both of them? Meanwhile, Ryan's image as Deadpool skyrocketed, but not everyone in the industry was applauding. While fans fell in love with the witty anti-hero, some directors and actors found working with Ryan increasingly difficult, especially those who consider themselves champions of serious cinema. According to reports, Ryan's need for control on set was a recurring issue. Even Deadpool co-star T.J. Miller walked away from the franchise, saying he found Ryan unbearable to work with. Miller accused him of constantly belittling others, not in a playful way, but as a power move to assert dominance. He called it toxic, saying Ryan's insecurities made it impossible to collaborate, and he's not alone. Tim Miller's quiet departure from Deadpool 2, Morena Baccarin's drastically reduced role, and the end of Ryan's friendship with Jake Gyllenhaal all point to a man who may be harder to work with than his public image suggests. Even some of Hollywood's biggest names aren't holding back. Quentin Tarantino, never one to mince words, has openly dismissed Ryan's body of work as unimpressive. That stings, especially for someone who's been trying to transition from comic relief to critically respected actor. At this point, many fans are looking at Ryan Reynolds through a completely different lens. Is he really the lovable, down-to-earth guy he plays in interviews? Or is he someone obsessed with controlling every narrative, whether it's on set, in his friendships, or in his relationships? One thing's for sure. The glossy sheen is starting to fade, and the questions are only getting louder. The Ryan Reynolds story is far from over, and it may be more complicated than anyone imagined.
Ryan Reynolds as a person might have one of the most laid-back faces around, but as an actor, he definitely knows what he wants, and in one case, he feuded with somebody who was actually his boss. Ryan Reynolds had a tough start to comic book movies, with the first comic book film he did being Blade Trinity, which made $135 million on a budget of $65 million, but after marketing and ticket splits, lost money. Making Blade Trinity, he met writer David Goyer, who suggested Ryan Reynolds looks at making a live-action Deadpool movie. Ryan Reynolds wanted to make a Deadpool movie, but Fox told him no because of the failure of Blade Trinity, and they just wanted to focus on PG-13 X-Men movies. Eventually, Ryan Reynolds got offered the chance to play Deadpool for 2009 X-Men Origins, where he initially said no, hating the script, but agreed to do it because he said it would go to another actor and he'd never get to play Deadpool again. Then Ryan Reynolds finally got his chance, where on a budget of $58 million, he had Deadpool, which made $783 million, becoming the most successful Fox comic book.
In Tarantino's eyes, Ryan Reynolds' movies are forgettable, lacking any real depth or artistic value. It's not just the films themselves. Tarantino also openly criticizes the rise of streaming platforms, which just so happens to be Ryan's preferred method of distribution through Netflix. From Tarantino's perspective, Ryan isn't creating what he considers real cinema. He sees him instead as just another actor cashing in on trends. But Tarantino isn't alone in his criticism. Chris Columbus, the legendary director of Home Alone, was reportedly furious when he learned about Ryan's plan to make a stoner parody of the holiday classic. The concept involved a man who grows weed, misses his flight and has to fend off burglars, a comedic take that Columbus found insulting. He didn't hold back, calling it a disrespectful slap in the face to the legacy of Home Alone, and even mocked Ryan, suggesting he should rewatch the original before attempting to remake it in such a ridiculous way. Meanwhile, Gerard Butler also threw shade at Ryan when fans compared Butler's Gamer to Reynolds' Free Guy, both involving virtual worlds. Butler's icy response? He flat out said he doesn't watch Ryan Reynolds movies, making it clear he doesn't view them as worth his time. Despite Ryan's box office success, these dismissals from some of Hollywood's most respected figures suggest he's not seen as a serious artist. The pattern is hard to ignore. While he might win over audiences, he's failed to earn the respect of the very industry he thrives in. His critics see him more as a brand than an actor, someone who crafts commercial hits rather than meaningful films, and now, adding more fuel to the fire, comes the biggest scandal yet. One involving Ryan, his wife Blake Lively, and director Justin Baldoni. The storm began with Blake's shocking accusations against Baldoni, which quickly made headlines. But Baldoni didn't stay silent. He hit back hard with a massive lawsuit, claiming Ryan and Blake were deliberately smearing his name and twisting the narrative to gain sympathy. What's more concerning is that other industry insiders have begun to side with Baldoni, hinting at a pattern of manipulative behavior from the Reynolds-Lively camp. Some say the couple has a history of stirring drama and using their image to maintain control and relevance. Once seen as Hollywood's golden couple, known for playful social media banter and perfect red carpet appearances, Ryan and Blake's reputation is now unraveling. Their recent appearance at Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary special seemed like an attempt to distract from the chaos, but instead of admiration, their presence sparked more criticism. Ryan reportedly joked about the legal battle, while Blake remained silent, playing the role of the supportive wife. The tone-deafness of their appearance didn't sit well with fans or fellow celebrities. Baldoni himself called them out, questioning how anyone could joke about harassment accusations. Public opinion has started to shift. Some still defend the couple, calling the drama baseless, fueled by jealousy. But others believe the cracks are finally showing. Multiple former colleagues have hinted at Ryan's insecurity and his controlling tendencies, issues that may have contributed to past conflicts with directors like Tim Miller, clashes with actors like T.J. Miller, the quiet distancing from co-star Morena Baccarin, and even a rumored rift with Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, many are asking, have Ryan and Blake been playing a role all along, carefully curating a charming, wholesome image while pulling strings behind the scenes? Scarlett Johansson, once married to Ryan Reynolds, didn't mince words when she described their relationship, not simply as a failed marriage, but as volatile. That word alone speaks volumes. If Ryan's insecurities played a part in the collapse of his marriage, they may also explain the frayed edges of his friendships and professional relationships. It raises the unsettling question, what else has been happening behind the scenes that the public hasn't seen? And then there's Blake Lively. For years, she's been seen as Hollywood's darling, the effortlessly charming, stylish actress with a picture-perfect marriage and a thriving career. But now, cracks are beginning to show. Fans and industry insiders are starting to wonder, has Blake been just as calculated as Ryan in curating and protecting their public image? With more people speaking out and industry whispers growing louder, the once impenetrable Reynolds-Lively brand is starting to look increasingly fragile. The question looms larger with each passing day. How much of their story is genuine, and how much has been carefully manufactured illusion? Blake Lively, long admired for her fashion sense and witty personality, rose to fame through Gossip Girl and standout roles in The Shallows and A Simple Favor. Her social media banter with Ryan has kept fans charmed, painting a picture of a fun-loving, self-aware Hollywood power couple. But if the claims in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit have any truth, the narrative may be far darker. Blake's harassment accusations against Baldoni were initially seen as serious and courageous, but now, with the lawsuit alleging manipulation and defamation, people are asking, was it a sincere complaint or a strategic power play? If the latter is true, it could shatter her long-standing public image and suggest she's been just as adept at controlling narratives as Ryan. And the story is far from over. more voices could still come forward. If they support Baldoni, it would strengthen his case and potentially force Blake and Ryan to break their silence and publicly explain their side. At this point, their entire reputations are on the line. If they manage to disprove the allegations, they may preserve their careers. But if further evidence emerges backing Baldoni's claims, the fallout could be career-ending, permanently tarnishing the empire they've built over the years. Fans are beginning to reevaluate everything, from old interviews to once charming social media posts. The jokes, the red carpet smiles, the seemingly harmless teasing, all are now being re-examined under a harsher light. Was Ryan's cocky humor in press interviews really just comedy, or was it a mask for something more controlling? Was Blake's polished charm simply media training, or a tool for manipulating public perception? The speculation is growing, and Hollywood is paying close attention. Social media isn't letting up either. Fans have started pulling old photos where co-stars appear uncomfortable, resurfacing moments when castmates were mysteriously dropped from sequels or left out of promotional tours, and connectings that are increasingly difficult to ignore. And amid all the swirling drama, the question remains, can Ryan and Blake weather the storm? Will this controversy fade away with the next celebrity scandal, or will it escalate into something that fully exposes the truth behind their carefully polished brand? The red flags were always there, some fans say. Consider Deadpool, one of Ryan's most iconic roles. T.J. Miller's abrupt exit from the franchise wasn't just a career move. He publicly declared he would never work with Ryan Reynolds again, no matter the paycheck. That kind of public disavowal raised eyebrows at the time, but now it feels like an early warning sign. Then there's director Tim Miller, who walked away from the Deadpool sequel before production even began. At the time, fans chalked it up to creative differences. But in hindsight, it seems more likely that Ryan's need for control may have pushed another collaborator out. Meanwhile, Blake had managed to avoid controversy until now. Her name is front and center in a massive $400 million lawsuit, and her image as Hollywood's golden girl is beginning to crack. For years, she maintained a reputation untouched by scandal. But with harassment allegations, whispers of strategic manipulation, and growing skepticism from fans and insiders alike, that image is now being challenged in a way she's never experienced. If more people come forward with damaging stories, the illusion of Blake as the sweet, down-to-earth star could unravel entirely. Still, there's a chance that nothing more comes out. If no additional voices step forward, Blake could argue that the claims are exaggerated or unfounded. But that looming lawsuit isn't going away, and neither she nor Ryan will be able to dodge it forever. At some point, they will have to face the music, and when that happens, the truth will either vindicate them or demolish the Hollywood power couple facade they've spent years building. The public wants answers. The playful banter and polished interviews won't be enough anymore. Fans aren't just laughing at their jokes. They're digging through past footage, scrutinizing body language, and studying every PR move with the attention of a detective. The days of simply charming the world with red carpet appearances and sarcastic tweets are over. In an age where authenticity is demanded, the stakes have never been higher. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively no longer look like the untouchable Hollywood sweethearts. If the stories are true, if they've manipulated narratives and undermined others to stay on top, the reckoning may finally be here. And as more insiders hint at hidden truths waiting to be revealed, it's becoming clear. The bombshells we've already seen might be just the beginning. The Hollywood power couple image Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively once enjoyed is quickly unraveling. What started as whispers has grown into a chorus, with major industry figures now speaking up, some sharing first-hand stories, others dropping cryptic hints about incidents the couple likely hoped would never resurface. Their recent attempt to control the narrative backfired spectacularly. Instead of clearing their names, their jokes on Saturday Night Live only added fuel to the fire, making them appear evasive and guilty. Now, fans are demanding real answers, and more celebrities are stepping forward, confirming what many had quietly suspected. Ryan Reynolds may not just be the charming, funny actor the public knows. Behind the scenes, he's being painted as rude, controlling, and deeply insecure. And Blake Lively? She might not just be supporting him from the sidelines. Some say she's just as calculated and strategic, playing the game right alongside him. I ask this the beginning of the end for one of Hollywood's most carefully curated couples? Or will they find a way to survive the scandal? Let us know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on Hollywood's biggest controversies.